My name is Margaret in Windsor, and I was kidnapped from Buckingham Palace in 1941 and brought to Moulton, Alabama, and given the name of a twin, Peggy Ann Dempsey. I married at Childers. Both twins, Peggy and Carl, were deceased. They were killed by their mother, who was unwed, Lina Dempsey. And I grew up being told that that was my name and that that was my family. It was a pigsty. It was like Mad Magazine or something. Now, I wanted to go to this because I ran in a political campaign to replace one of the doctors in Atlanta. He was a U.S. Congressman, Larry McDonald. Wrote about mind control and murders of Warren and Rosina Matthews, forensic um, pathologist at Larry McDonald's hospital in Atlanta, and the murder of Gene Strokerman, who was gunned down in Piedmont Hospital, which is where Larry McDonald practiced medicine, and I believe his family kind of had control of it. Anyway, he was doctor there, U.S. Congressman. So the point I want to make is I was kidnapped. The day I was born, I should have been the wealthiest woman on the planet or person back then. I was born in 39. My father's King Edward VIII, the real King Edward VIII, not the imposter that married Wallace Warfield Simpson. My father was married to Claudia Ruth O'Keefe Windsor, an American sister to artist Georgia O'Keefe. Now, I want to go back to, I wrote about the book on mind control murders, etc., etc. Had a letter from the FBI June the 23rd of 79. Had antifreeze put in me April Fool Day of 80. It was a fiasco of hell. I was transported across the state line illegally to Huntsville, Alabama, and that's where I went to work in the condition I was in. And nobody's paid for crimes. This is just one out of my life that should have killed me, really. It should have. I managed to live. I worked for Fred Simpson, who was the Madison County District Attorney in Huntsville. And now I want to go to the last, well, my jobs were gotten to. I was kept penniless, really. I lived on the Appalachian Trail, just to have a place to live. Starved, froze. People were afraid of. Edward Snowden only touched the tip of the iceberg on what national security does and what they can do. They've got mind control, and it's so advanced now. But what I wanted to go into, I was never able to go back and sue anybody in this. There's plenty of every day. It's weird if it's ever told. I've told it on YouTube, at least part of it, but until the media picks up on it, or there is like the Nuremberg trials, they sure went in and prosecuted the Germans, and yet the Germans and the British are the only ones, and a few Americans, to help me. It seems like a joke since they did all this to me and are still doing it. My point, though, I'm going to get to this. I was, since I came to Roanoke in '86, my immune system, I'm allergic to chemicals, and when especially if I'm in have a place to live and I'm in close quarters and I'm force-fed it, and that's what's happened. Deliberately put in my place where I live, either through the ventilation system or coming in and directly soaking my beds, etc., etc. So you can guess what I went through. And it deteriorated my liver and kidneys and bad over a period of time. And I can't go to law enforcement. I can't get an attorney to touch it. What I wanted to do with this one was affordable corporate suites. I left there the 22nd of last month because I refused. I had lived in their places before here in Roanoke, and they're all over the state. And the same thing happened. So people would say, well, why did you go back? Because And it leaves me explaining, and then nobody wants anything. They're afraid of it. I've been told they didn't want it to happen to them, so they're not going to help me. Tesla. Oh, Tesla. I was just reading that off of Tesla Motors, but Tesla was the one that had all this, the mind control. It was stolen, and the fact that you can cure or create illnesses back in early 30 or before, and that's what I've been talking about, mind control and all that. But anyway, I was never able to sue anybody. Nobody's paid for their crimes, not one. If you do a background check, all the pertinent information is left out. You wouldn't. I can't. My God, it's not even my name. And I wanted to put this down though. One of the hospitals down there that where I went for the tox screen when they had the antifreeze put in April the 1st of 80 was don't let me West Peachtree emergency room. I'm trying to West Peachtree. Well, anyway, um, I went there, and that's where so much happened. That I mean, it should be shown to the world is what happened there. But I was never able to sue any a long list of what happened in this. Now then, I'm up here in Lewis Gale. I've gone to them, and I've gone to Carillion, and I'm not going to. There's no way I can put down what's happened to me at the hands of doctors and politicians because of who I am. I'm Victoria II, and I'm heir to the British Crown. I found out in '83 about my dad and my birth and kidnapping. And even the birth certificates for Peggy and Carl were marked through the date because they had different dates on them that was given me when they brought me over here. And I used in school and all that. So I wanted to say that I have tried to pay. I have kept where I don't even have money for food hardly, especially 14 months where I stayed. And I really had to have a place to live. I didn't have anything left over after I paid rent. I had breakfast was that allowed me to live there and have some food. Breakfast was furnished, and I had nothing left over. In other words, I've got the same shoes that I've had for 2.5 years, and it's the only pair I have, and I'm going to show them in a minute. But my point is that I haven't had clothes. I haven't gone to the beauty salon. I'm lucky to have had shampoo. And here, from a doctor who I have paid, and I'm not going to mention her because it's Lewis Gale that she works for that sent it. They've turned me over to the credit bureau. My insurance pays most of it, and at a point, like a few months ago, I had a credit balance. So now they've turned me over because I prepaid when I had no balance there. Now they've turned me over to, what is it, C, creditors, account 604618142, CFM of Roanoke, 540-772-6661. Okay, also on that, this star, which the doctor is really good, so I'm not going to name him. I don't know if he's aware of it, but I actually called them, and at the same time, they turned it over. Mind you, I pay when I can, and I had paid and had called this star and made arrangements. I owed them, I think, $40, and when they turned this over, after I had called them, I actually had paid. It was in the mail on time, and they'd already turned it over. It was after the $15 I paid, it would have been maybe 25 or 30. But they turned it over to the CFM credit. So if you did a background check, you wouldn't get any of the truth. You wouldn't see the laws that are broken against me, not able to use my own name. And then when I left Affordable Corporate Suites May the 22nd last month, it was illegal. I put that on here. I mean, it's almost like they handed me a letter to sue them with. It was total lies and obvious that it was lies. And I had to leave, and I had to lose everything again and go out and camp. And then I've come back to where I am today. And